France, Brittany for more than 20 years now, and I'm still trying to master the art of French living. For a guy who likes to think he knows what he's doing, it's been an unexpectedly bumpy ride. Driving me nuts. I started driving when I was 17 and had my first accident when I was 17 and a half. I'd successfully completed driver's education in high school and was convinced I knew what I was doing, which is often the first and best sign that I don't. In those days, driving was a sign of adulthood, manhood, even more than sexual experience, probably because it was easier to get a car than a girl, and definitely easier than getting a girl into a car, which was my chief aim at the time. My driver's ed teacher was Mr. F., a pleasant man who was also a history teacher and tennis coach. He liked teaching driver's ed most because it was where he could pay the least attention. I passed the class easily. We all did, but I didn't learn anything about driving, or safety, or sanity, or adulthood. No one did, which is why I had the accident. It was 1:30 in the morning. I had just dropped Shelley Greben at her house after summoning the courage of Jeanne d'Arc, Socrates, Galileo, and Shackleton to kiss her under the strobe lamp her parents left on to dissuade her or me or us. I was elated. Having accomplished my two chief goals in life, getting a girl into my car and kissing her. I was also slightly drunk from partying all night. I sped through a red light, hitting another car and totaling mine. Amazingly, no one was hurt. I had my second accident 20 years later. A woman named B.B., a name I will never forget, dead stopped her car at an all-clear, open-all-the-way freeway entrance, and I nicked her impetigoed Volkswagen. I gave her a check for $500 for invisible, caused-by-her damages, and that was that. Since then, I've had my share of speeding and parking tickets. Nothing unusual, really, until I started driving in France. Driving in France, especially before GPS and MapQuest, but even after, is more complicated and difficult than Magellan's sailing and navigating the 7 seas. He had the stars, and a guy in the crow's nest to guide him. I have myself and French signage, and more often than not, that's not enough. Getting my car. Every summer begins with a telephone call to reserve my car. And even though there's never been a problem, and I know I'm going to get my car, it's always a surprise when I do. Surprise is my new routine. I start in January when I'm feeling most optimistic about the Giants and a new year, and most pessimistic about the Giants and a new year, and call Rob. He has his own agency, Lydiard Travel, and always manages a discount greater than everyone else's. Plus, he's friendly and thorough, and answers all of my questions no matter how many times I ask them. I tell him my pickup and return dates and locations, and he goes into action, searching for the cheapest combination possible. Renault or Peugeot, gas or diesel, rent or lease. I do this even though we both know the outcome. Renault, sans GPS, gas, and lease. This year isn't any different. It's Renault, sans GPS, gas, and lease. What is different is I'm getting my car at Aéroport Charles de Gaulle and driving to Brittany, something I haven't done in more than a decade. When I made the reservation 6 months and 6,000 miles ago, it seemed like a good idea, the way invading Iraq must have seemed to W. My plane lands on time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the morning, California time. Thanks to a mileage award, I'm flying United. Except for the food, less legroom, and smaller and harder seats that barely recline, it's just like flying Air France. This is what I'm thinking as we taxi to the docking area, and the pilot announces, "Welcome to Paris, Charles de Gaulle Airport, Terminal 1. This is how I learned that Terminal 2, the newest terminal, the one I've been landing at for years with its spacious, airy, light-filled, air-conditioned, glass and wood interior, many free, comfortable chairs and benches to sit on, clear signage, helpful personnel.